Good morning and welcome, or it's not morning here, it's afternoon actually, but welcome to Stick AT through hiking preparations, and so thrilled to have you with us. I am again at Sleeping Giant State Park, late afternoon. I swam a little bit, about a mile or so, and then I thought I'd come up here to do some more hiking because I've done 4 of the Sleeping Giant State Park's east-west trails so far. I have 2 left to go. That is the green and the purple, or the violet, whatever you want to call it. So, I'll take my hat off so you can see me better. I came up to the chest via the white trail today, and I am going to take the green to the violet and hopefully push these miles out in good time so that I get done before sunset. Also today, in this video, probably, well, most probably, I'm going to be talking about some thru hiker terminology. So I hope that that is enjoyable to you and can be educational as well if you are new to thru hiking. Many of you are not, but many of you I know are as well. So welcome to the channel. So glad you're watching, and let's get going. Guys, I see the first green markers that I'll be following today. The double means end of trail, and then these mean the trail turns this way. The 2 circles pointing in the direction the trail goes. Look at how pretty this is. It's the green trail, and there's green mountain laurel all over the place. Must be the green trail for a reason. I just love it and had to share it with you guys. Look at that. I'm on the green trail, and I hear voices, and there is the tower on top of Sleeping Giant, right on that cliff there. That's so cool. Didn't know I could see it from the green trail. Well, I'll continue down this green trail and continue hiking, and soon I'll find a spot to sit and tell you about the vocabulary that you and I will come across on the Appalachian Trail. Hey guys, it is Brian Niebank here, and I am going to find a nice spot to sit right in this rock ledge here, and I'm going to go through a few of the terms. The first is Amicalola. That is the name of Amicalola Falls State Park, which is short for Amicalola Falls State Park, Georgia, which is the home of Springer Mountain. So that is where most thru hikers start their trek on the Appalachian Trail. The second term is aquablaze. This means to skip a section of the AT, the Appalachian Trail, by watercraft, like a canoe, kayak, or raft. There's a river that goes to Shenandoah, for example, so some people skip a section by aquablazing. Next term, which goes with blazing, is blue blaze. This means to skip a section of the white blazed AT by walking an alternative route. Most of the routes are marked by blue blazes on the side of the Appalachian Trail that aren't actually the AT. Another one is brown blaze, that is going from privy to privy on the Appalachian Trail. And a fourth is yellow blaze. This is where you skip a section of the Appalachian Trail by car. Yellow blazing is the 2 lines on the roadway, hence yellow blazing. There's also something called banana blaze, which is to follow a man down the trail out of romantic interest, or pink blaze, which is to follow a woman down the trail out of romantic interests. The AT, which I already mentioned, is the abbreviation for the Appalachian Trail, or the Appalachian National Scenic Trail. The ATC is an abbreviation for the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, which is the organization that oversees the maintenance of, conservation on, and advocacy for the preservation of the AT. The headquarters in Harpers Ferry is often referred to as the ATC. Harpers Ferry is basically the halfway point, although not quite there. That is in West Virginia. AWOL is short for the AT guide that I plan to be using by computer scientist and AT thru hiker David AWOL Miller. He also wrote the book AWOL and the Appalachian Trail. ACE is an acronym for All You Can Eat. Baxter is short for Baxter State Park in Maine, home of Mount Katahdin, which is the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. You hear us say Katahdin, Katahdin often. The Bubble is the denser cluster of northbound thru hikers who embark from Springer Mountain the last week of March. Actually, it's been moving up to the middle of March, and the first week of April. Sometimes it also refers to as a much smaller cluster of southbound through hikers who embark from Katahdin the first week of June. Basically, it means there's a lot of hikers all being in the same place at the same time, hence it results in overcrowding at shelters, and that's what I am trying to stay ahead of. You heard of the white blazes, which is how the Appalachian Trail is blazed. You also have something called a cairn, which is a small tower of rocks used as a trail marker in areas where trees are scarce or used sentimentally as a monument. They can be trail markers, they often are trail markers above the tree line when there are not trees to paint blazes on. The CDT is the Continental Divide Trail, or the Continental Divide National Scenic Trail, which runs 3,100 miles across the U.S.'s Western Divide. You may hear the CDT. It runs from Canada to Mexico. And with that is the PCT, which is the Pacific Crest Trail, which runs on the west coast near the Pacific Ocean. The three trails together, the AT, the PCT, and the CDT, combined, if you complete all three of those, you are known as having completed the Triple Crown of the National Scenic Trails. A flip-flopper is someone who through hikes the Appalachian Trail, the AT, in a non-contiguous manner. So say somebody might start at Harper's Ferry, hike to Katahdin, and then jump back down to Harper's Ferry and hike south to Springer Mountain. A lot of people do this whose timing doesn't work out to start in like February or March and don't have enough time to get to Katahdin before it closes on October 15th. Some people may also start, like where I live in Connecticut, so some people might start in Connecticut and hike up to Katahdin, or maybe some people start in Springer and hike all the way up to New York, say, and then realize they're not going to have enough time to get to Katahdin by the time it closes. So they'll go to Katahdin and then hike south to where they left off in New York. Along with this goes Nobo and Sobo. I'll be going Nobo, which is short for northbound. Some people go from Mount Katahdin to Springer Mountain, Georgia, which is called Sobo, or southbound. The Green Tunnel exists in the summertime, and it is a nickname for the AT, referencing the tree cover that encloses the trail corridor most of the way during the late spring and summer months. Some people refer to something called hiker trash. It's on my vocabulary list here. And this is a term for describing long-distance hikers whose absence from civilization has led them to abandon certain social norms and expectations, becoming disheveled in appearance. It is sometimes said as an insult, but usually, in the terms of thru hikers, it is taken as a compliment. Hike your own hike, or HYOH, is a motto of sorts. It means anything from to each his own to stay out of my business. Hike your own hike means everybody does their own thing on the trail, and it's for everyone's enjoyment. So whatever you do is what you do. Some people will say, I'm a purist and I hike the entire Appalachian Trail, blaze to blaze to blaze. Others will say, hike your own hike. I'm going to skip this section that I don't want to hike, and yellow blaze or blue blaze or something like that. A hut in the White Mountains National Forest, which is in New Hampshire, is a hut that is fully enclosed with running water, wood stoves, and other amenities. These are basically hostels, but they are run by the Appalachian Trail Club and the White Mountain Forest organization. A lash is a long section hiker. Insert the three-letter ASS word to complete the LASH acronym, which means hiking 100-plus mile sections at a time. I will probably not be using the LASH term, but you may hear others use that. Leave no trace, or LNT, is a phrase representing the 7 principles of outdoor ethics. Plan ahead and prepare, travel and camp on durable surfaces, dispose of waste properly, leave what you find, minimize campfire impacts, respect wildlife, and be considerate of other visitors. A logbook, which I will definitely be using, is a guest book that is kept at shelters, campsites, and visitor centers along the AT, in which hikers can write entries. This is not to be confused with trail journals, which people do online. This is actually on the trail. It can be used for tracking if somebody needs to find a hiker as well. The Long Trail is a national scenic trail running 273 miles through Vermont, which shares its southernmost 100 miles with the AT. That will be a Vermont thing. Narrow is short for nearly zero, or a partial day off. That is very few miles walked during a long distance hike. I don't plan to be doing narrows, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Along with that is a 0, where one hikes 0 miles on the Appalachian Trail. And that is basically just a day off. Somebody might take it to go into town or something like that. A hostel, I've already mentioned, is an affordable bunkhouse with resupply along the trail for long-distance hikers. There are many hostels along the trail, and they are more affordable than staying in a hotel. They do have less amenities. It's basically like bunkhouses, but every hostel is different. So I may be staying in a hostel, and I'll show you around the hostels if I do happen to stay there. The next one is post-holing. In snowy conditions, it means stepping in the footprints left by another hiker. So you're basically putting your foot exactly where the other hiker went, so you don't step in fresh snow and get snow all over your socks. Break trail is related, and that means to be the first to walk in fresh snow on the trail, thereby breaking the trail and leaving post holes for other people behind you. Noro is short for norovirus, which is a disease that does spread easily in the backcountry. There were outbreaks in 2012 and 2013 that were particularly harsh in the AT. A privy, I did note walking privy to privy in brown blazing earlier. A privy is an outhouse or a compostable toilet at a backcountry campsite. They don't have their own toilet paper, you have to bring your own. PUDS is a phrase, P-U-D-S, which stands for pointless ups and downs, meaning a series of climbs and descents without a view, therefore seeming like it's pointless. A ridge runner is an ATC volunteer who monitors the AT, especially in heavy trafficked areas such as state and national parks. A section hiker is a 2,000-miler who hiked or is currently hiking the entire AT in over a year in any order. A through hiker, which goes with that, is a 2,000-miler who hiked or is currently hiking the entire AT in 12 months or less. It still does not matter what order you hike it in, but it has to be the 12 months or less to be a through hiker rather than a section hiker. A shelter is a structure for backcountry lodging, typically 3-sided. So basically like a lean-to. In some other places, it's referred to as a lean-to. Slack pack is to leave the bulk of one's belongings elsewhere and hike with a day pack during a long-distance backpacking trip. So some hostels will allow you to hike with, or hike in and hike a distance, like 10, 15 miles or so, and then you can stay a second night at the same hostel, and you can make arrangements that they will just pick you up along the trail at the next trailhead, and then they'll drop you off there the next morning. So you can work that out to slack pack, or some people have family who come visit them and then will keep their packs in the car and then drive it along to the next trailhead. The Shennys is short for Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. The Smokies is short for the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee and North Carolina. A trail angel is someone who gives trail magic. And with that, trail magic is any act of kindness or gift bestowed upon hikers, including water, meals, transportation, lodging, or even money. Anything nice that somebody does who typically is not hiking the AT, they do nice things for hikers to make their hike better or easier, and they are called a trail angel as they leave trail magic. Trail magic does not have to come with a trail angel. Well, it's usually provided by a trail angel still, but you may not know how to, or you may not know who it is or meet the person, because sometimes people will leave coolers by the trailhead, and that is still referred to as trail magic. Let's see. A trail maintainer is someone who cares for a tract of the AT, a section of the AT, usually as a volunteer. A trail name is a special nickname adopted by long-distance backpackers, which has become a tradition on the AT and many other trails. My trail name is Stick. I already introduced that, and I got it when I was doing backpacking merit badge in Boy Scouts, and that was a trail name that was given to me because I always carried a stick to help me hiking, and they also said I looked like a stick because I was skinny. So that's the backstory behind my trail name, Stick. So that's the one I intend to take on the Appalachian Trail with me. The trail provides is a phrase meaning that in emergencies or difficult situations, a hiker's needs will be met somehow. You don't know how, but sometimes it's just something left from the trail, like a hiking trek or a hiking pole that can be super useful for the Appalachian Trail. I've seen that happen when somebody didn't have hiking poles, and then all of a sudden somebody left hiking poles at a trailhead. Well, if nobody's there with it, it's usually there to to be able to be claimed. And I just have a few left now. Tramily is short for trail family. It is generally referred to as a group of people in which you spend a significant amount of time hiking a trail with, typically also lodging in town with, whether at a hostel, hotel room, or otherwise. So tramily is a group of people that you are pacing well with and typically stay with for a good period of time. Ultra light is to hike with a pack that is basically less than 15 pounds. Super light, I don't plan to be ultra lighting. Yogi is to charm, persuade, or otherwise convince locals and day hikers to provide trail magic by saying, oh, like, I'm hungry, or I pretty much run out of my food and it'll be a day till I resupply. Just by saying those types of things without physically asking, hey, can I have that, or I need that. But some people embark on yogi. I hope I don't have to ever do that, but you never know. To charm, persuade, or otherwise convince locals and day hikers to provide trail magic, maybe supplies they don't need, or if they overpacked or something like that. Yo-yo, which is really interesting, is to hike the entire AT from one terminus to the other and then immediately turn around and hike back again. Basically 2 back-to-back through hikes. Credit to you if you can do that or have the time to do that. I'm sure I could do, well, I'll say I'm sure I could do that after I hike the AT. We'll see what happens. A 2,000 miler, I mentioned that briefly. Any individual who has hiked the entire Appalachian Trail, regardless of time spent doing so, and regardless of the AT's exact length upon completion. It does change from year to year based on switchbacks or new trails that are blazed. If they are trying to maintain a portion of trail or regrow a portion of trail, they might change the trail a little bit. So it does change every year within a couple miles or so. Last 3, Weekend Warrior is a hiker who backpacks on the weekends. So they'll overnight in and then hike out to work usually in the during the week, just backpacks on the weekend. Weekend Warrior. And a day hiker is a hiker who hikes and goes home at night. Lastly, a platinum blazing is a long-distance hiker who stays in a hostel or hotel each night, does not stay in the shelters. It's called platinum blazing because it costs a lot of money. Green Trail is so muddy today. Alright, you guys, yellow-green crossover. I've been booking it down this green trail to get to the end here, which I'm nearly at because I just reached the crossover. Because the sun is setting, and I've still got to go back to the main parking lot on the purple trail. So, I've been booking it, walking fast, but I can do it. Might have been the last green blaze, and I am not wasting any time. There's the yellow, the trailhead, and I'm gonna go right here to the purple and start going back to the main lot. I'm not wasting any time before sunset because the sun's about to set in like half hour or so. So let's go purple and let's have a good hike, and we'll go find the river. Look at this spot in the trail. Just looks like a disaster zone. Like, this must have been a project to clear this trail. Maybe it was left over from when the tornado came through. But you can tell a lot of work was done to clear this trail. Hey guys, it's Brian Eubank here. Good to see you guys. For those who might be saying, yeah, you should have left earlier because it's only like a 4 or 5 mile hike. Plenty of time in daylight, even though the day is shortened. I know, I should have left earlier. And for those who are saying, well, why does it matter if you're out by sunset? Because you're gonna have to be hiking at night anyway in the AT at times, typically, and I expect to. But the only problem here is that the gates close half hour after sunset, and I came to another nice muddy spot here. So yeah, that's why I need to get back as quickly as I can so that my car doesn't get locked in. Just take a second, enjoy those colors. view of that ridge line there. The back part of Sleeping Giant State Park. Still on the purple trail. There it is. Don't know if I'm going over that hump or not, but let's find out. Try to enjoy these moments, guys. These are such glorious moments of color. Going on a walk in the woods. So peaceful here at dusk. Well guys, I think I'm rounding the bend. I just passed the red triangle trail, so I should be close to getting down in the river and back to the parking lot. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support. If you watched to the end of this video, comment any words that you think I might have forgotten, or perhaps your favorite word that you have regarding vocabulary, and comment which ones you like. So I'll see you guys in the next video, guys. I hope you guys, I'm saying guys too much. I hope you all have a splendid evening or day or morning or whenever you are watching this. And until the next time, be blessed and a blessing. See y'all.